Hello, and welcome back to Preserving the Fleet. My name is Paul Scalabroni, volunteer here at Battleship Cove. And today we're just doing a quick update on the projects we have going in October here on the Destroyer. We're back in the mess deck area because we have a lot of work going here over the summer. And we're kind of at the home stretch, so what we've been doing in here the past couple of weeks into the month is on the deck, we've started removing the last of the leveler because we finished all the welding. And now when they took up the tiles, there was still basically this leveling compound that was still left in areas, so we're just getting most of that ground off, sanded off, so when we put paint down it'll sit flat and the deck will look nice and flat, even, because we can't put tiles back down, so we got to try to replicate the original look as best we can. The other projects that are left to do in here, welding is done. The only thing we have to do is just weld the frame for where the scuttlebutt's going to go. And then we'll be able to start doing all the cleaning in the space, and then we'll be able to start painting. Another project we've worked on board, and this is mostly Alex that was responsible for doing this, because he does all the electrical, was the port and starboard lights that actually were down the side of the ship haven't worked in years. And again, didn't really figure out why, nobody was looking into it, so we decided to look at it this October and figured out that we had a blown fuse, and this was the original timer that was running it. And this had basically gone completely bad, so eventually we might put another timer in, but for now we just wired it up to a switch, so we can turn the exterior lights on and off, which we're not really open when it's dark in the winter months here, but if people want to walk on board the ship, it's going to be a lot safer on the side rails because now you have lights, and we can show you those in 1 second. So we'll turn them off, and then we can turn them on. Up and on. So it's a little detail that hasn't been on the ship for a while, but we restored it, so it also adds to the safety for security guards when they're walking here in the winter time. If the decks have ice on them, they can see a little bit better than everything being pitch black. All right, so we sent this off to be rebuilt at BGR Radiator in Plainfield, Connecticut, and they did an exceptional job. They actually completely painted it, pressure tested it, sealed the coil up so everything works again, so now we can get this reinstalled into the system. Pete Fowler and Josh removed this originally, so we'll probably have them put it back in right above us here. Got to do a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of dust in there, and then we can get that reinstalled, and then that'll be pretty much the last step we need to get the heating system on, and it's just in time because we're entering November here. And the temperatures are going to start dropping into the 30s and 40s at night, so we're going to have to keep the ship at least a little bit heated so we can get everything comfortable. And in the winter here, when it's 0 degrees outside, it's much more comfortable in a ship that's 50 degrees than 0 degrees. Alrighty, we're up here on the ASRock deck on the Kennedy, and another project we did in October and a little bit into September was the actual painting of this deck itself. It was an Eagle Scout project, and a few of the Battleship Cove volunteers helped out as well. So they took this deck, chipped it, and then did a complete coat of paint all the way from the ASRock magazine to the forward hatches. Needle gunned the steel ring on top of the deck here, and then gave that a good coat of paint. And that pretty much secured the deck from any kind of rust and rot issues we have. They also did the deck house for the ASRock launching station, and the ASRock hangar walls, the bulkheads themselves as well. So pretty much this whole deck got a coat of paint, as well as the 2 smokestacks. We didn't do those. We had Lightship contracted out to paint the smokestacks and the rear mast. You can't really see the rear mast that well right now because it's dark out and it's black, so you're not going to really notice it. But the other project that we had Lightship do was the forward stack here. We had a really big hole with water ingress into the ship. It was getting into the paint locker, it was getting into the uptake space, and actually causing water to go really deep into the ship. So they've come in, and this whole area of the ship is basically getting completely rebuilt. This whole piece of deck is going to get cut out and new steel down. The side bulkhead for the smokestack is also going to get redone, and everything going back is also going to get new steel. You can see some of it's already been fitted, and they've already been putting patches down, and that was all open to the elements, and water was getting into the ship. Some of it was getting into the main passageway. That's going to stop all that from happening, which is going to solve a huge problem we have on board the ship. Another project Lightship has been doing on board with the welding is up here on the port side. Near one of the vent fans, we had a huge amount of wasted metal where water collected and it pretty much blew through the bulkhead. So they've been doing a lot of work getting these rebuilt, inside and out. There was a little bit of deck damage on the inside, and then the entire bulkhead, they cut new plate, welded it in, and now this whole area of the ship is sealed again, so we can't get any water ingress, and it won't do any further damage when you get down into the lower decks of the ship, like we used to have with a lot of the problems, especially in the sonar decks. As usual, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to our video. This was just a brief update on what we have going on the ship here for our September and October projects. Like usual, we'd like you to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Any help that you could give us through donations to the website or donations of time, volunteering, coming down and helping out with any projects you've seen on the ships that you'd like to get involved with, we would definitely appreciate it. I'm Paul Scalabroni, volunteer for the USS Kennedy and Battleship Cove in general. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.